Have you noticed that sleeping beside someone feels different than it used to? You love each other. You've shared a bed for years, maybe decades. But now it doesn't feel as restful. You wake up stiff. You find yourself waking through the night, not always knowing why. Sometimes it's the way the mattress feels. Sometimes it's the tossing and turning. Sometimes it's just something's off. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many older adults, especially women over 60, start noticing that their sleep changes. And when you share a bed, those changes don't just affect you. They affect the person beside you too. But here's the good news. There are real simple ways to make shared sleep better again. Ways that are grounded in science, comfort, and real-life experience. And today, I'm going to walk you through 4 of them. Let's start with something small but powerful. The first tip is about using a foam pad on one side of the bed. You see, as we age, our bodies become more sensitive. What used to feel fine at 40 might feel too firm or too soft at 70. Our joints, especially hips and shoulders, need more support in some places and less in others. But most mattresses aren't built for 2 different bodies. They give one kind of support, one feel, one firmness. That's where a foam topper can help. Instead of changing the whole bed, you can just add a layer of softness on your side, and it really can make a difference. There's a woman named Sylvia. She's in her late 60s. For months, she was waking up with hip pain. Her husband liked their mattress just the way it was, firm and stable. But for her, it was too much pressure. After trying a soft egg crate-style foam topper, just on her half of the bed, she finally started sleeping through the night again. No more tossing, no more pain. And the best part? She didn't have to change anything for her husband. He kept sleeping on the firmness he liked, and she got the cushion she needed. If you're curious about trying this, look for a foam pad about 2 or 3 inches thick. Place it under the fitted sheet just on your side. Try it for a few nights. Sometimes, even small changes like this can unlock a better night's rest. Now let's move to the second tip. This one might feel a little unusual at first, but it's helped a lot of couples. It's about using 2 twin beds, placed side by side, to make one shared sleeping space. When people first hear that, they imagine being separated or sleeping far apart. But that's not what this is. What we're talking about here is one big bed, made from 2 smaller ones so that each person gets the exact kind of mattress they need. One might want soft. The other wants firm. One has a memory foam. The other prefers springs. But they're still next to each other. Still close. Still connected. And it works. There's a couple, both in their 70s, who did exactly this. They bought 2 separate twin mattresses, pushed them together, and added a special connector in the middle called a bed bridge. On top of that, they used a king-size sheet and comforter so it all looked and felt like one bed. But underneath, each side was completely customized. No more fighting over the mattress. No more sinking into the middle. And most importantly, no more feeling like you have to compromise every night just to sleep side by side. It's a solution that's becoming more common, especially for older adults who want comfort and closeness. And it doesn't require a big budget. You can find twin mattresses and a connector online or at most mattress stores. It might feel different at first, but once you start sleeping better, it stops feeling strange. Just feels right. Let's move on to the third idea. This one's for couples who are ready to invest a little more in their sleep. It's about adjustable beds, or mattresses that let each person control their side. Maybe one of you needs to sleep with your head slightly elevated to reduce snoring. Maybe the other needs to raise their legs because of swelling or joint pain. Or maybe it's just about getting more support in the lower back. These needs aren't unusual. In fact, they're incredibly common after 60. Adjustable beds let each of you find your best position. And you don't have to agree on it because each side works independently. There's a woman named Helen. She lives with arthritis in her knees and hips. For years, lying flat made everything feel worse. Her husband, though, liked the old setup just fine. After they bought a split adjustable bed, she could raise her knees slightly, take the pressure off her joints, and finally fall asleep without pain. Meanwhile, her husband didn't have to change a thing. There are also beds like Sleep Number, where you can set your preferred firmness with a remote. Again, each person gets what they need. These beds do cost more, but for many people they're worth it. Because a better night's sleep affects everything else. Your energy, your mood, even your memory and balance. And if you're not sure yet, Try visiting a showroom. Spend 10 minutes lying on one. Sometimes your body will tell you more than any ad ever could. And now, the fourth idea I want to share with you is something even more basic. But just as important, it's about your sleep environment. What's around you? What's in the room? And what messages it's sending to your brain? Many people don't realize how much light, sound, and air affect sleep. Especially after 60, our bodies don't process these things the way they used to. A little noise, a bit of blue light, even dry air. All of that can keep your body in alert mode, even when you want to rest. That's why creating a sleep sanctuary matters. Start by turning off screens. Phones, tablets, TVs, they all send signals to your brain that say, stay awake. Try putting them away at least 30 minutes before bed. Maybe pick up a book, or just sit quietly with soft music. Then think about the light in your room. If you live near streetlights, blackout curtains can make a big difference. Even small nightlights should use warm, soft colors, not blue or white. And finally, think about air. A cracked window, a small fan, or even a quiet air purifier can help. Some people also like to use calming scents, like lavender or cedarwood, to let their body know it's time to unwind. This kind of sleep setup isn't about luxury. It's about giving your brain and body the signals they need to rest. Especially when you're sharing a space with someone else. Because when you both sleep better, everything feels a little easier. You talk more gently. You feel more patient. You wake up with more energy to face the day. So let's take a moment to reflect. We've talked about 4 real ways to improve sleep when you share a bed, especially in this stage of life. We looked at foam toppers, twin bed setups, adjustable mattresses, and creating a quiet, calming sleep space. These aren't fancy tricks. They're grounded in real needs, real bodies, real lives. And in the next part, we'll take all of this even further. We'll look at how to build a simple bedtime routine around these ideas, how to spot hidden sleep problems like snoring or joint pain before they get worse, and how to talk with your partner in a way that brings you closer, not further apart. But before we go there, maybe just think for a moment. What part of your sleep could be easier? What would change if you felt truly rested again? If you've tried any of these changes already, or if you're thinking about it, I'd love to hear what your experience has been. Feel free to share it in the comments. You never know who might read it. And feel a little less alone. In the first part, we talked about some of the biggest obstacles that come with sharing a bed later in life, and how small adjustments can make a real difference. Foam toppers, split mattresses, adjustable beds, and reshaping the room around you into a quiet, restful space. Now let's take it one step further. Because better sleep doesn't just come from where you lie down, it also comes from how you prepare for it, from what your body expects, from what your brain learns to trust. And that's why having a gentle bedtime routine matters, especially now. You don't need a long list of steps. Just a few things you do night after night signals to your brain. It's time to let go. You're safe now. You can rest. Let's start with the hour before sleep. Many people underestimate how much that hour shapes the whole night. What you eat, what you look at, what kind of light is around you. All of it matters. So, about 60 minutes before you plan to go to bed, try turning off all the screens. No scrolling, no email, no TV in the background. Give your eyes a break and give your nervous system a chance to slow down. You could use that time to read something quiet. You could sit and listen to soft music. Some people light a small candle. Others stretch gently on the floor. What matters most isn't what you do, but that it stays consistent, familiar, calming. Then, think about your physical space. Is the bed already made? Are the lights soft? Do you need an extra pillow tonight? A thinner blanket? Some older adults keep a warm pack near the bed to place on their back or shoulders before lying down. Others use a drop of essential oil on their wrist, something that reminds the brain, this is sleep time. And if your partner has their own habits, maybe they read longer than you or fall asleep faster, that's okay. You don't have to be in sync with every minute, but it helps to respect each other's rhythm. It helps to talk about what works and what doesn't. Which brings me to something even more important. Sleep isn't just about the body, it's also about communication, especially when you're sharing a bed. So here's a question worth asking, gently and with kindness. Is there anything I do at night that makes it harder for you to sleep? That's not always an easy conversation, but it can be powerful. Sometimes it's something small. One person snores. The other one pulls the blanket too tight. One partner wakes up at 3 a.m. to use the bathroom and turns on a light without realizing how bright it is. None of these are done out of harm, but they still matter. And when we talk about them without blame, we open the door to change. There's a couple in their early 70s, James and Elaine. For years, James would fall asleep with the TV on. Elaine never said anything, until she started waking up every morning feeling more tired than when she went to bed. One night, she told him very simply, "I think the light from the screen is keeping me up. I'd really like to try something different." He didn't realize, but once she shared that, with honesty not anger, he agreed to try a new routine. Now, they sit together for 15 minutes before bed, just listening to music. Then they turn everything off and drift off in silence. Small things, but they made a big difference. Now, sometimes the reason sleep feels hard isn't about the bed or the room or even the partner. Sometimes there's a medical reason that needs to be looked at. If you've already tried changing your mattress or creating a calm space and you're still not sleeping, it might be time to check with your doctor. For example, let's talk about snoring. It's common, but if it's loud or stops and starts, or if you feel exhausted during the day even after what seemed like a full night of sleep, it could be sleep apnea. That's when your breathing actually pauses during sleep, sometimes for seconds at a time, without you even knowing it. It's more common after 60, and it's more than just a sleep issue. It affects your heart, your memory, even your mood. The good news? It's treatable, and many people feel better within weeks of getting help. There's also joint pain or nerve pain that keeps showing up at night. It's not just discomfort. It can interfere with deep sleep cycles. And over time, poor sleep can make chronic pain worse. It's a cycle. So if you're waking up multiple times with aches or numbness, don't ignore it. A physical therapist or sleep specialist might help you adjust your position or recommend gentle movement routines during the day. Sometimes even a few stretches in the evening or a different pillow can relieve pressure in the neck, hips, or knees. The point is, if sleep feels hard and you've done all the right things, it might not be something you can fix with a mattress. And that's not a failure. That's your body asking for support. And speaking of support, let's talk about something just as important as sleep itself: connection. Because sometimes the struggle with shared sleep isn't about comfort at all. It's about closeness, about feeling like you're still on the same page. It's about knowing that even if your bodies need different things, your bond is still strong. And here's the truth: sleeping in separate beds, using earplugs, having different routines, none of these mean you love each other less. They just mean you're listening to what each of you needs now. And that is a kind of love too. So take a moment tonight. Ask each other, what would make you feel more rested, more peaceful? And how can we support each other in that? Because when both of you sleep well, everything else becomes lighter. The mornings feel softer. The conversations become easier. And even the challenges of aging feel a little more manageable when you've had real rest. Now, before we close, I just want to say this: sharing a bed after 60 doesn't have to feel like a battle. It can become something new, something kinder, something that fits who you are now, not who you used to be. And you're allowed to make those changes. You're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to sleep deeply. You're allowed to wake up and feel finally rested. And if this video helped you even in a small way, I'd be so grateful if you could share it. Leave a comment below. What's been the biggest challenge for you when it comes to sleep? Or what's one thing you've changed that made a difference? You never know who might read your words and feel less alone because of it. And if you'd like more content like this, gentle, useful, and grounded in real life, feel free to like this video, share it with a friend, or subscribe to the channel. You deserve rest. You deserve peace. And it's never too late to find both.